on Monday, the 10th of November 2025. We're with the leader of the United Democratic Party on Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, Alhaji lawyer Usainu Darboe. I get a sense that you want to say more about Megabank and the audit reports, because the questions were on diaspora Gambians and your trip to the diaspora, and you shot straight into the issue of Megabank. It's been mentioned in the audit reports. It's a conversation that has lingered on now for quite a while. Those involved say one thing, and now the audit reports have come out and suggested another. Now that you are here, what's your position? Whether you want to do it from an individual level or party level on the findings on the sale of Mega?
Well, see, I first raised the issue of Mega Bank at a rally that I want the government of the Gambia to tell the Gambian people how much Mega Bank was sold for and to whom Mega Bank was sold. I raised it at my rally. And it was then that I think my small brother, my younger brother, CTWPG, I think came here with a lot of documents, just, I mean, was it CTWPG or government?
CTWPG came here, dealt with Mega Bank. Yeah. The governor?
The governor, yes. They all came, court processes and all whatnot. We are not talking about how the bank was handled during prescription. We are talking about how much was paid for that bank. Bear in mind the investment by government, and those monies were Gambian people's money.
Well, the governor told us how much.
Yeah.
More than $1 billion.
More than $1 billion.
Yes.
For a going concern, it was not only if I may call it, fiscal cost of $1 billion, but all its assets from Banjul and all over. When it has all that, that will be in excess of $2 billion. How much was it sold for? And we question that. We do not believe that was the right amount for which it was sold. After all, the first attempt to sell it, Ahmad Sane was finance minister. And when he looked at the offer, he said, in a very, he speaks very slowly, he said, I don't think, this is the type of money we need. All investment that the government has put in that bank, no, we will not have it.
So he declined?
He refused.
Because the offers were too low?
He refused, because he didn't think that was the right price.
Despite the stress the bank was in at the time?
That was the right thing, no. Because the gentleman who was even taken from the central bank to oversee the management of Omega Bank did such a wonderful job, turned that bank into a profit-making institution, and had, because it was so profitable, that is why people now wanted it. Yeah. But I think the audit report really confirms some of us, our suspicions, that all was not right. And really, Peter, is very unfortunate. These findings by the Auditor General and his well-committed support staff, those findings just show how wasteful we are, how misplaced our priorities are. Would it not have been the greatest honor and the greatest pride for the borough administration? Those funds were really taken and applied to the sectors that are in need of good and proper funding. But all that going down the drain at the detriment of the Gambian people.
What will a UDP-led government do about the situation of Meg?
Well, the situation of the mega bank now, I think, how do I say, that is water under the bridge. We do not want to go to court.
Okay. There's nothing you want.
We do not want to go to court or to any arbitration that we are that in fact it's not even going to be a question of breach of contract that we want to take over, the property of a company that will claim that we are bona fide purchasers. We did all our investigations. We are satisfied that it's good, and the people who are selling it left us in no doubt that what they are giving us is good, and it will protect it. And of course, to do otherwise, we can even scare away other investors. Because look, we want to be careful, because these people, if they are not happy with you, then they come after you. And we do not want to scare away any investor. No, we'll not do that.
So your issue is with the authorities who sold Mega Bank and how they went about
they should be accountable.
selling it, but not with the people who acquired Mega Bank. You want them to feel very safe and secure to continue investing
in this country. Yeah.
You spoke about the auditor. Of course, he was removed, under very controversial circumstances. What's your take on that?
It is sad. This is why we say government should be bridled. Even where the Constitution provides for the modus of removing the Auditor General, it has not been adhered to. At least we are not going to the merits of the case, but it has not been adhered to. I feel really sorry for our country that a government that professes itself to be guided by the Constitution of this country can really resort to self-help, because that's what they did. Take the police there. Poor man, he was sitting on his seat and looking at the policeman like that, as he had been apprehended for armed robbery.
Well, he was told that he was not Auditor General anymore. Why did he force his way into the position when he was already told that somebody else is to occupy that seat?
Yes, if I'm a government of laws, would invoke the law, they should go to court and prevent him from going into that office. And if he violates that order, then he'll be held in contempt. Then he would be held to be a trespasser. But he said, now look, I am Auditor General. I have not left my office. I have not resigned. Yeah. So really, if you want to deal with that situation, I think you should really resort to the law courts. Put in an application, urgent application, and ask the court to determine it as quickly as possible. Even interim injunction. Apply for an interim injunction. Yeah. You're given an interim order, and within 7 days, now you can come for a proper interlocutory injunction. That is what a government guided by law should be doing, not to fiscally force him. And I think what they did to him was trespass on his person. But at least let the court do that.
Okay. So what concrete steps would a UDP-led government take to fight corruption in our institutions? All of them, whether it's the executive, National Assembly, ministries, departments, agencies. Because the one consistent talk since this government came to power is the C word, corruption.
Yes, it is that. You don't just talk or preach against corruption, but you also take actions to fight corruption.
What actions would you take?
No sacred cows.
What will happen? There's an allegation, straight away they are indicted. The IGP is ordered to look into the matter. Once it gets to the AG's chamber, you insist they expedite the process, because it's not that action is not being taken by this government. It's just that action that apparently seems to get to no finality.
Because the supervisor of the affairs of the state is not doing proper supervision. How can you let a file lie in the office of the Attorney General for more than 3 months without any action being taken? The supervisor is not doing the job properly. And when I said I'm not talking about the Attorney General, I'm talking to the President.
Okay.
He's the principal supervisor.
So what do you do in that case? Just assume I am your Attorney General, Minister of Justice. You'll pick up your phone and say, "Hey, Mr. Gomez or Peter, what's going on?"
What is happening with this? You give an excuse, I listen to that. Another, nothing happened, you give I listen to that. Another time say, "Mister, you don't want to do the job. Go away, I'll get another Attorney General."
No, you won't be able to do that.
No.
You'll have to go to the National Assembly.
No.
Because remember, under you now.
No. The National Assembly, I won't go to the National Assembly for removal. It is for appointments, because all these motions that take place in the United States, everywhere, in Nigeria, in Ghana,
it's only for approval.
It's only for approval.
But the president has the powers to remove
to
at any time.
to remove. But if
it's good to clarify that.
But if a minister is not doing the job, really, you don't keep him there riding in big cars and then receiving allowances and not doing anything. I'll be really abdicating my responsibilities. I'll be shirking my responsibilities if I do not take proper action against that delinquent minister. And I'm using the word delinquent very advisedly. You know, I should take.
Do you think the Justice Minister, who also happens to be the Attorney General, is not doing his job?
Well, he may have his constraint. But then, allowing files to be unattended for 3 months, really. For instance, the Abasanyan case, it took quite a long time before the matter was filed in court. Now that you have a special criminal division, there should be no delays in the prosecution of criminal cases. Now that you have a full directorate of prosecution, there should be no delays. It was not like our time when we are doing all the things, maybe 3 or 4 of us there. Yeah? But now you have quite a huge number of people.
And do you flag the Abasanyan case as a message to government that if you dealt with this case and you end up successfully prosecuting, you will have sent a strong message?
Very strong message, because that's a state minister giving responsibility.
Although what happened before he became state minister.
Yeah, it happened
while he was governor.
Yeah, it happened before he became governor. But then, because as a state minister, that's the aura that a state minister is being prosecuted for alleged criminal activities. It speaks a volume, and the conviction, if any, really be sending strong signals to everybody. And I think this was not happen. I want to ask whoever is prosecuting that case to really expedite it, because I don't know when I last heard anything about that case. I don't know.
It's been silent for a very long time.
And that is what gives people the impression that this government is not serious about fighting corruption, because he was a cabinet colleague. So you don't want to embarrass him.
That's the message they are sending.
That's the message. At least that would be my interpretation. This was a cabinet colleague. Oh yes, we are approaching election time. He comes from an area whose votes I need. Therefore, let me drag my feet and not do anything that will jeopardize me getting the votes I want from those areas.
You spoke about the civil service from the very beginning. How would you reform it to improve efficiency and transparency?
Well, Peter, in the first place, the head of the civil service, I'm not sure whether I can have that now, like somebody like a Mr. Christensen or a Mr. Francis Mboju. I'm not sure whether I can have that now. But we want to have people who reasonably measure up to those people in terms of integrity, in terms of knowledge, in terms of patriotism, experience. you don't want to appoint somebody as head of the civil service because of consideration that are extraneous to what I've just told you. Look, in those days, I mean, I was a young civil servant. Ministers revere Uncle Christensen, probably more than the president, because of the character that he was. The same with Francis Mbuj. When I was a young civil servant, he was in the Ministry of Agriculture on the same floor. And I saw this man, how he handled state matters. Now, you don't want to pick somebody as head of the civil service because you believe his mother is a very strong Yai company. No.
Is that happening with the present dispensation?
I can assure you, Peter, that there are a lot of competent people, certainly serving in the civil service. All that they want is to be accorded the opportunity, the unfettered opportunity to really deliver, to really work for this country. They don't want anybody to pigeonhole them into any situations. Like, if as a civil servant, what party you support, they say, I'm neutral, that is an opposition, you are pigeonholing them. There are young people in this service who don't want to be tagged in that way. So when we really put premium on political dividend, then we'll be destroying the services. I want really our public service to come back to what it was under those great heads of civil service, starting with Uncle Christensen and then with the late Abdisara Jangha. That is what we want. And in fact, improve on that. And I think we have competent people around, and again, I don't want, some of them have featured in this program, whose expertise, whose advice we could really make use of to really make our civil service once again the envy of not only the Gambians, but also of our neighbors.
And still on governance and accountability, how do you plan to strengthen the independence of the judiciary?
Well, that's very dear to me.
Of course, that's why I asked
the independence of the judiciary is really very dear to me. And certainly, apart from the rules that govern the appointment of judges, in fact, when I say judges, arbiters, let me say arbiters, which will include magistrates and so forth. Apart from that, I think I want to make sure that their working environment is conducive. Peter, when I see some of the magistrates picking taxis to work or from work, it frightens me. The other passenger you meet in that taxi, you don't know whether his brother had appeared before you and you convicted that person. You convicted him in accordance by virtue of your knowledge of law, what you understand the law to be. And you impose a sentence on him that by the guiding principle, you think that this is the appropriate sentence. You share in taxi with that person. It could even, or maybe even the driver. You're exposing these young magistrates to some danger. And I don't think it will be too much to really invest a little bit more to secure their personal safety. I don't think it will. It will take a lot to do that. I know it might be difficult to provide security at their homes, but there are some people around. I see people around who have police escorts. They are not even in the public service.
Oh, they are not?
They are not in the public service. Why can't we provide for these people? Yeah. And quite frankly, I know there has been a lot of hue and cry about the remuneration of judges, but then you want to have well-paid judges in order to secure their independence. And independence doesn't just mean independence from government, from government from government influence. It is independence from other people, from other factors.
Okay. So you're in support of the recent pay package voted for the judiciary?
Yes. In fact, in some countries, the Chief Justice earns more than the President.
You'll be okay with that? You'll be okay with a Chief Justice that earns more than you as President?
Of course. Because
why? Is it because they do more work than the President? Is the Chief Justice doing more work than the President?
Let me just say, I sit late at night to prepare my cases. They sit very late at night writing judgments, deciding on very controversial issues, deciding on issues involving millions of dollars. The temptations to be influenced by those millions of dollars is there for any human. You want to insulate them from that. And apart from that, as president, I travel, presidents and ministers, they travel a lot. Anytime they travel, they have allowance. How many times does the Chief Justice travel, or any of the judges of the superior courts, for them to receive allowances? During vacations, maybe they'll go and attend some professional seminars. So their situation is different. I mean, the doctor, let me just go on to say, look, because some people will say, oh, Darboe ta honga lawyer la, so mom, the like lawyers in you. In fact, that's why they say, some of them say that I want to become Chief Justice.
But what safeguards will you put in place to ensure that public funds are used responsibly? You just spoke about some people who are not even in public service, who are having state-sponsored security. So what safeguards will you put in place to ensure that public funds are used responsibly? The money that is being taken from me, from somebody else?
Well, I think I would, for lack of a proper word, I think I would appoint a prefect.
Okay, that's interesting. It's not happened with Jawara's government. It's not happened with Yahya Jammeh's government.
Well, only there's an innovation. There has to be something new things introduced.
So that is one new thing that a UDP-led government will introduce.
We'll
how would you call him? A prefect against corruption, or a prefect?
For corruption, I'll appoint anti-corruption czar.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, then prefect that will see to it that the Gambia police force deploys its officers to perform duties and to attend to people or personnel that required by virtue of the position they hold. Like, as I say, minister, have your orderly. Judges have your orderlies. But how can you justify a Yai company having a PIU personnel guarding her?
Yai companies have?
Yai company, I say so, Yai company.
Oh, wow.
Yai company.
UDP Yai companies? Well, we have to qualify. Don't you have Yai companies?
We do have we do have Yai companies, but certainly a UDP Yai company will not have that privilege.
Okay. So
when a former vice president who was UDP had all his security withdrawn when he was removed from office, but maybe one or two former vice presidents still have.
Okay. So definitely an NPPI campaign.
Certainly an NPPI campaign. We cannot do an NPPI campaign. Yes, an NPPI campaign. Yeah. And some family members of the president, I'm not talking of the first ladies, because they, by virtue of their position, of course they have to have it.
Okay, so first ladies have to have security.
Of course.
Okay.
Because of their position.
So what other family members are not entitled to?
Well, my sister. If I'm from my sister will not have it. Neither will my brother have it. But my sister, I know women sometimes.
Do the current president's sisters have security?
Well, my sister will not have security.
And I'm asking, do the current president's sisters have, or brothers?
Well, Peter, my sister will not have. And I say my sister will not have it because I know that some close relatives of the president have security, armed security. Yes.